Why was this short stretch of canal regarded as one of the 8 wonders of the world when it was constructed? And how did this small dock help beat Hitler? Find out now on Astonishing Glasgow. On this episode, I've made my way along the Forth and Clyde canal to the Maryhill Locks. The canal here rises through 5 locks, built between 1787 and 1790, and takes its name from the nearby town of Maryhill. But in a strange twist, the nearby Maryhill got its name because of the canal. I'll explain. It all starts with Hugh Hill. He was the Laird of Galbraith, and his estate owned the lands all around this area. Hugh Hill had no male heir, so on his death he left his estate to his daughter, Mary Hill. Born in 1730, Mary would marry Robert Graham of Dawsholme in 1763, but their only income was from the estate, and after some poor investments and a failed coal mining venture, they were delighted when Parliament granted approval for the Forth and Clyde Canal to pass through their estate in 1768. It was a much needed financial windfall. The canal reached the Galbraith estate in 1775, and a village soon grew around its route. Thanks to Robert Graham's one condition when he provided the land for its development, the village was to be, in all times, called the town of Maryhill, granting the last of the line of hills of Galbraith to be immortalised centuries after her death. I did try and find a picture of Maryhill, but without success. If you have one, let me know in the comments or on my social media feeds, and while you're here, please hit that like and subscribe button. Go on, what are you waiting for? It's free, and it really helps my channel. The new canal was a great success, and this series of locks was a very busy route for trade. To keep the canal traffic moving within the locks, they were designed with large basins at each level to allow boats to pass. At one of these basins, just above Lock 22, is the remains of the Kelvin Dry Dock. This dock was added in the original plans for the canal and was built in 1790 for the repair and construction of canal company boats. The boatyard went on to build the very first of the Clyde puffers, which were hugely successful cargo ships and, ironically, part of the reason for the canal traffic to decline. Boats were built on land and launched down a slipway to be finished off or repaired in the dry dock. Boat repairs continued here right up until 1962, when the dock and a lot of the canal started to become derelict, but its real mark in history happened in the lead up to D-Day in 1944. With World War II raging on the continent, it seems incredible that this peaceful stretch of canal could play its part. But with all resources being called upon for the war effort, this dry dock was put to work constructing landing craft that would lead the assault on the beaches of Normandy. Just like this example that I visited in Ouistreham in France a few years ago. Incidentally, this actual boat not only played its part in D-Day itself, but also features in the dramatic opening scene from the Tom Hanks movie Saving Private Ryan. It's not known just how many craft were built here, but on the morning of the 6th of June 1944, 839 were used for the landing of troops. And now on to the most famous structure on the canal. And I don't mean Osprey Heights, the fictional Craig Lang address of Jack and Victor from Stilgate.
Can you see me now?
Oh, there you are.
What we are looking at here was worldwide news when it was built in 1787. This is the Kelvin Aqueduct, built to carry the Forth and Clyde canal over the River Kelvin, and when it was opened, it was the longest aqueduct in the UK and caused amazement when onlookers saw sailing boats pass high above the river valley. I picked a really bad time to get a look at the four arches as they pass 19 metres above the Kelvin. But these pathways were thronged with sightseers when the aqueduct was built, and I will come back in the winter for a better look. The sound of water running off the aqueduct is worrying, as well as the state of some of the stonework, but the aqueduct has Grade A historic protection, so I'm sure it's being looked after by somebody. The walls of the aqueduct are arched to push back against the weight of the water in the canal, and the base of the canal is lined with nearly a metre of puddle clay to make it waterproof. You might not even know that this aqueduct is here, even though it appears on the Maryhill coat of arms. But so celebrated was it that the newspapers of the 18th century pronounced it as one of the 8 wonders of the world, and one of the largest structures to be built since Roman times. I imagine it was very similar to the excitement surrounding the Falkirk Wheel when it opened just a few years ago. So go and take a walk or a cycle along the canal and visit Glasgow's very own ancient wonder of the world. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and go and check out my social media feeds for more pictures, details and for information on my live walking and cycling tours of the city. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time in Astonishing Glasgow. Right, I'm away for a bag of revels for Navid's shop.
Well, you have the peanut, caramel, coffee, orange, so I suppose all the food groups are represented.